Good evening, everyone. The fun part is starting. We're now in our 44th year. We took it over from the DIA when they didn't want to do it anymore. And it is a great opportunity for artists to be showcased in Michigan and the contiguous states. We opened it up to the contiguous states just because we started to seeing a pattern that a lot of times the artists have very similar work year to year to year. So opening it up to the contiguous states also brought in some artists that we may not normally see. We have artists from Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, so yeah, we have a good representation. The work has to be current, so it had to have been completed in the last year and a half. So a viewer can come here and see work that is really on the cusp of what is happening in the art scene. And the beauty of this show is it's all mediums, so you can kind of get a glimpse of everything that is out there.
I live in Bloomfield Township, and I enrolled at Cranbrook Academy of Art and received my MFA in ceramics in 2024. I felt like these hadn't been seen in the world yet. And there's not a ton of work that I really love from my grad school days because so much of it is experimental. But both of these pieces were in my home, which is also unusual, and I just felt like I wanted them to be seen.
This is actually the first show I've ever gotten into for photography. I was kind of surprised. I was very pleased because I haven't submitted anything else. It makes me feel fabulous, and I wonder how I got chosen. And Annie reassures me that no, they don't know your name, they don't know anything about you. So it is very exciting.
This work was already a piece that I had that I wanted to put in the show. I felt that I try to put myself out there because as an artist, I keep to myself a lot, but it's nice to be able to be on the other side of it where we can market and show our work too. And we want to be able to have people see it.
I am an artist, but I don't get time to practice my art, but walking in through the doors every single day, I'm surrounded by art. That gives me my creative outlet, right? And placing the artwork also does. That's the fun part, right? The huge transition. So we literally take down the last exhibit and patch and paint the walls. Then the artists have 1 week to deliver the work, whether it's being shipped or whether they're bringing it in on site. We always do a survey of the condition of the work because we want to make sure that we maintain the condition of the work. Look at this, crazy. That's a painting. We had a canvas that was separated from the frame. I contacted the artist and she gave me the go-ahead to reassemble, which is what I did. We tried to take note of any scratches or any chips or anything like that. And we take images with our handy-dandy phone, right? And also with intake in person, we also look and make sure that there are no scratches, or if they are, we mark them so that the artist is aware. And then placing of the work. I usually do that on Sunday when the art center is closed, so I can have a free mind and not have any distractions, and work around to place the show, ultimately giving as much white space as possible because again, it's multimedia, it's not a one-person show, so there's not that continuous imagery. So you want to be able to honor all the artists with their work. So white space is really important and how the work looks from afar as well. So I'll spend about 4 or 5 hours to place the show, and then Monday morning we start hanging. I think it's really important that you have that creative outlet. I mean, that's kind of our mantra here. Whether you're 3 years old or 95, I think it's really important to explore that.
The BBAC is near and dear to my heart, of course. It's so close to home. I've taught classes here, I've taken classes here. It really feels like a part of the community.
BBAC is incredible. People don't recognize that being down the street from Cranbrook, you've got some top artists teaching here. That's a real gift to the community.
I'm the first person to say our instructors and our students are far above none. But when one of them or two of them or several of them get into this show from a blind jury, that's just, cherry on the cake. I mean, that is really the epitome of who we are here.
It's a great community in Bloomfield, almost like an art community or a creative community here too, which I see in Royal Oak and Ann Arbor and a lot of different areas throughout Michigan too. But here it's quite special because I feel like there's a little bit of a difference there, and you know how viewers see work and how curators put the shows together, knowing that they give back to the community so much with, you know, their teachings when they do classes. Like my wife, you know, when she took classes here, how much she enjoyed it, and just being able to build that community, you know, and I like that a lot.
To be able to think creatively is so very important, and we all have seemed to have forgotten about that, and art gets kind of slipped away in the schools, and we try to say it's really important. A couple hours a week to come and take a class to explore that creativity. And we all know that it really is healthy and is good for your well-being to be exposed to art or actually doing art. So, you know, the galleries are a perfect opportunity to walk in here, look at the different pieces. Not everyone's going to be the next Van Gogh, right? Or the Pollock, but just to be able to think differently, to look at things differently is so important in our everyday lives.